Are you living your dream right now? Would you say you're living your dream right now?
Am I living my dream right now? I would say that I am, yeah, I am living my dream. I mean, my name is Noel Zephir, and I'm a model and also the owner of Beauty Cube. I started my journey of wanting to be a model over 10 years ago. My husband said to me one day, like, what were your dreams? What did you always want to do in life? And at this point, you know, I got kids and I'm grown and I got a job and mortgage and, you know, just life. And I'm like, you know, I always wanted to be a model, but it's not realistic. And he was like, that's not true. You can do this. And it put a little seed in my head, and that seed grew and grew and grew. And at that point, I knew that I had to try. And if nothing worked out, then fine, I would die knowing I tried. But I tried, and it was a difficult process, and it took a long time to get established, but I never gave up. When I got started, I had no mentors. I had no one to talk to, ask what to do. I went to Sears. I went to Sears and called myself getting some headshots. And I got those headshots back, and I literally mailed them to agencies like, this is going to get me booked. But when I look back now, it was horrible, but it still showed that I was trying to do something. And then I got with some friends of mine who were wonderful photographers, Jewel and Derek Davis, Nicole, like, you know, a few people that were local that actually took some real legitimate pictures of me. And I started to get those out. So it was definitely a rocky process, but eventually I got on the right road. My first agency was Flaunt Models in New York, and I remember being so excited, and that had to be in 2012. So that was 10 years ago. It was interesting because, like, they wanted me to go on castings, and I was so scared. I don't live in New York, and I didn't even know how to get around in New York, let alone go on a casting. Didn't know what to wear. Like, I literally had no direction. I don't even know how I kept going. But that was my first agency, and it didn't really work out. I think I probably had one gig booked. And then I moved on to a local agency in Maryland that did more commercial type stuff. I didn't actually get signed to my current mother agency until about 4 or 5 years ago. So when I first signed with IPM Model Management, again, I still was very green. I really didn't know what I was doing. But that agency gave me a lot more direction. I probably went on no less than 20 castings before I got booked. And my first booking, if I'm not mistaken, was the New York Post. It was a swimsuit write-up or whatever. But let me tell you, I probably got paid pennies, but I was so excited because I was like, this is it. Like, I'm going to be a star. Like, I'm going to blow up. I didn't blow up, but I got more work after. Going on castings over the last several years has been not my favorite thing to do. You get there, and if it's a casting for a plus size company, that's great, because at least you know you're gonna see other women that look like you, they're shaped like you, black women, white women, thick women. Then you go on these other castings with a brand that has plus sizes. And it's a lot of straight size models, and they looking at you like, what you doing here? Because they're skinny and they're tall and they're, you know, blonde, and they've been runwaying, and they just make you feel inadequate. I don't feel that way anymore, but in the beginning, it was so deflating going on these castings, not getting the job, and then seeing so many women that didn't look like me. Not a lot of women of color. Not a lot of women who were my size. And it's like, you knew my size before I came. You knew what I looked like because you asked my agency to send me. And it's like, why? So you really have to be confident in yourself to continue on the journey of going on multiple castings and not getting booked. I enjoy working for all brands, but most of the brands I work for are exclusively for plus models. And there's a lot of us out there, and we're all scrapping for the same jobs, basically. I mean, it's a lot of competition because there's so many beautiful plus size women out there. It's like, you ain't the only one. It's a lot of us out there. Listen, you be in your feelings about these beautiful, like maybe somebody's thinking the same thing about me, but let me tell you, when I go to castings, I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. She's gonna get this job, and I'm not. But I mean, it's been a wonderful journey of just being able to be around these women and get to know them and know they've been through similar journeys that I've been through. One of the first major companies for me that I saw myself online was Ashley Stewart. I was like, oh my God, that's me. Like, I'm actually doing this. And if nothing else happens, I did this. I was so proud because I know my journey. My husband know my journey. My kids know my journey. And it was like, wow, it all meant something. I feel like my family is very proud of me. My daughters, my husband especially, like literally my number one fan. My sisters, my mom shops at one of the clients I work for the most. At first, she just thought it was something I was just doing, because I was still full-time employed in finance, until I hit that window. And once I hit the window of Ashley Stewart, like, she was like, oh my gosh, like, this is real. Like, you're really doing this. And I don't know how many times she's been in the store to tell them that I'm her daughter. I feel like everybody's proud, but importantly, I'm proud. I'm proud because it hasn't been an easy journey. And when I see things like that, just like when I first saw myself on an e-commerce site, and I said, if nothing else happens, I've done it. When I saw myself in the window, I was like, if nothing else happens, I've done it. And then when I was on Project Runway, the finale show, I was like, if nothing else happens, I've done this. Like each milestone that I hit, I just feel like if things stop for me tomorrow, I would be happy. I get girls in my DM all the time that want to model. It's been their dream, like, you're an inspiration, because I didn't get started at 18, 19 like everybody else, most models. So now I have these young girls like, can we talk? Can we meet up? Like, I have so many questions. And I'm always so happy to help them because I feel like I didn't have that. So this is just me giving you the real, are you sure you want to do this? And if you do, this is what you need to do. Even women my own age who are just trying to get started, I'm happy to give them all the advice I can. One day my husband's looking at my photos and he's like, wow, he's always complimenting me or whatever. And I'm like, I don't just be standing there, I be working. And I said it because people have the misconceptions that models just get up there, look cute, and boom, that's it. That's the picture. It's work. You're literally, it can be on set for 8 hours and you're on your feet for 8 hours in heels that sometimes aren't the right size. And they hurt, and you get a break, but then you right back. I mean, you're sweating, and people don't want to hear models complaining because they already feel like you have this cushy job, which is, I've done all kinds of acrobatics trying to get the picture, hurting my back and my knees and all kinds of things, and you be thinking, am I getting paid for this? It doesn't matter because you love it and you do it. But people, it's not easy. I see myself just doing more, not just e-commerce, but commercial. I want you to come into Target in the beauty section and I want you to see my face. I know models who've done this thing, and I know that it's in my reach. I have no doubts that I can do that plus so much more. Trying to maintain a balance of being a model and a mom and a wife and an entrepreneur, it's been challenging because I've been so busy, but being a model is one of the reasons I created Beauty Cubed. So I created Beauty Cubed because, there's this whole thing out there in the world called Self-Care Sunday. And I wanted to offer products to women and men so that they could experience a self-care every day and any day. because ultimately, even with myself, I don't take enough time for myself. I'm traveling, I'm working, I'm trying to be an entrepreneur, I'm trying to be a wife, a mother, I'm trying to do a lot. My calendar's crazy. So self-care it means so much more than just going to the doctor. It's also how you look, how you feel, how you take care of yourself. I created Beauty Cube for that reason, and my goal is to just keep offering more things on my site and in my store that allow women to relax, to pamper themselves, to let people know it's all about me today. Whether that's 10 minutes every day or an hour one day a week. My goal is to make sure people practice self-care. I feel like I have so far to go. Even though I started this journey over 10 years ago, I just feel like there's so much more out there for me. So I don't want to feel accomplished because I don't want to feel settled. I don't want to be comfortable where I am. Like, I want to keep pushing and stepping out of my comfort zone, because I started this stepping out of my comfort zone, and each time I do something new, I had to step out of my comfort zone. Like, I still literally get nervous when I go work with new clients. I'm not the one for everyone, but I have to go sell myself every single time. If I said that I felt accomplished, like I've accomplished everything, no, because I want to keep pushing harder and doing better.